glad you could join me. So today's part 2 of trying to get the XJ40 back up and running. And I'm gonna be removing all 6 of the spark plugs, adding some fog and oil into each cylinder and letting it sit there, kind of lubricate a little bit. Right now, the main issue that I'm trying to source is a crank positioning sensor. I'm gonna do a video so I can show you guys kind of just the process behind removing it and why I think that this is the issue why my car is not starting. So they don't have what they call fogging oil by the name explicitly, but seafoam spray also works for that same use. So what I'm doing is removing each spark plug, adding a little bit of this penetrating fluid, you can say. So when we go to start this up after 2.5 years, we don't have any issues with wearing down those piston rings. And in the process of removing the old spark plugs, I'm gonna go ahead and replace them with brand new Bosch double platinums. And of course, can't forget some anti-seize. All right, so that's what we're doing here. Just fog the first cylinder and we're moving on to the rest. All right, we're making some more progress on the XJ40. I just confirmed that the fuel pump does work, which is a really good sign. And what I did basically was I took the feed to the fuel rail, I cracked it, and I just took a hose and routed it to that bucket, primed the pump, and it started pushing out. When I first parked the XJ40, it was a no start issue that I really didn't pinpoint too well, so I assumed that it was the fuel pump and kind of left it alone because I knew that removing the fuel tank was an involved process, and I had just bought the XJS, and I didn't want to have 2 projects up at once. So I unfortunately let her just sit in a state of decay for 2 years at my parents' house under a tree in all types of weather and conditions, and it really wasn't the best for her. I understand that, but I have confidence, more than 80% confidence, that the fault lies in that crank positioning sensor. The issue now is 2 things. Shipping is super slow. Right now, I'm waiting onto almost 4 weeks for a banjo bolt on the XJS. And the issue is I can find a crank positioning sensor for cheap in the UK, but shipping will probably take a long time. So I'd have this car down for who knows how long. I can get the crank positioning sensor locally, but it costs almost $300. So that's my predicament. My thing has always been about, you know, saving money on these builds because I'm not made of money, unfortunately. I wish I was. So I can't justify spending $300 during the quarantine when I'm furloughed, but also I need to get a car up and running. So I'm in a predicament, I'm in a plight. I'm trying to trade off which route to take, but more than likely I'll have to just bite the bullet and pay the $300 because I'd hate to be in a position where I spend $60 and I'm waiting almost a month and a half for a part that I could have gotten instantly and made up that money somehow somewhere else. So I'm really trying to narrow it down and figure out what to do, how to do. So it's a bit of a aggravating situation to be in, but there's far worse positions to be in. So right now I'm just waiting. It's a waiting game. I'm gonna drain the tank so I can have just fresh fuel in there and I don't have to have any, I don't wanna leave myself open to any more issues. So if the fuel in there, albeit it might be good, but it's 2 years old, I just wanna eliminate the possibility of that fuel giving me any issues when it comes time to restart this bad boy. But here, just have a little look around. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've even dedicated some time and attention to her, and I feel bad because she doesn't deserve this fate. She was my daily driver and she never let me down. There was only one time where the water pump belt kind of came off that she let me on the side of the road, but aside from that, this car it's never missed a beat. I've driven it to New York about 3 times, taken it to Ocean City once. So, and right now she's under 120K. So I bought the car with 70,000 miles and it has almost twice that 4 years later. So I drove the hell out of this car, and I feel like I need to do it a justice by bringing her back to life. So I'm just overall very happy that the fuel pump is working, because that just shows me that I could have probably gotten this fixed a lot sooner. It just shows you that sometimes you shouldn't sit on these certain things, just tackle them as soon as you can. Letting a car sit is probably the worst thing you could do to it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.